Hello guys, you're welcome to another episode of the NSMQ Review Show. My name is Ato Kwamena Afoklan. On this episode, we'll be looking at the qualifiers and the championships for the Western and Western North regions. So joining me today in the studio is Miss Abigail Redu of the Client Service Department at Primetime Limited. I'll also be joined via Zoom by Mr. Selom Mensa, who is from Ahantaman SHS. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Right, so Abigail, you were at the scene of the competition. I mean, you journeyed all the way from Accra to the Western region to watch the competition. What did you make of the whole environment? What happened?
For the Western and Western North regions, it wasn't as enthusiastic as the other regions that we had been to. So we moved from Greater Accra and then to the Central region and then to the Western region. And you would think that the excitements would have been the same, but unfortunately it wasn't like that. But we had some good contests, and yeah, I mean that was the highlight of it. So yeah.
So you're saying that there were some good contests, but overall it didn't meet the expectation.
No, not at all, not at all.
Right, so let's look at the contest. Contest 1. We had Takwa SHS bringing up 46 points. I mean, some people might say that this was very, very good, even though you said that earlier that some schools didn't perform as you expected them to perform. I mean, it seems like Takwa did very well in this contest.
Yes, I mean, for this particular contest, it was the first contest for the region, and if it wasn't for Takwa SHS in this contest, I'm not sure how to describe the contest, because it was a very slow contest, and looking at the Mpo SHS coming out with negativity, it was a very slow contest. But Takwa SHS was very, very impressive in this contest because they had 46 points, and it was good to, it was nice to watch them in this contest because they were on point, although they missed some of the questions. But then 46 is a good starter, so yeah, that contest was good.
I mean, you can't always get all the questions, but let's move to contest 2. Fiasaman SHS also winning impressively by 37 points. What do you make of that particular contest?
It was an okay contest, not the contest that you'll be expecting to see, especially because in Sign SHS was in there. They are a school that everybody was rooting for, hoping that they would give the other two schools some kind of competition, but it wasn't like that. The Fiasaman came out tops in this contest, so that contest also wasn't as exciting, but then Fiasaman came out and managed to win that particular one.
Alright, so still with you, contest 3, St. John's School, 44 points. I mean, looking at this particular group, and many would say St. John's School was the favorite too.
Yeah, in this contest, and it shows through the scores. 44 points is not a bad score at all. They gave the other schools a run for their money. They performed very well, and everyone was waiting to see what they would do in the championship because everyone was expecting them to win that one. So yeah, they did very well, and it was good to watch them. Yeah.
Right, but looking at the other 3 schools beneath St. John's School, it seems as if it was a tight battle beneath them.
Yeah, between them. I mean, they decided that St. John's was in the lead, so they wouldn't even try and beat them. So they were fighting amongst themselves and in the bottom. But yeah, it was good. It was a good show. Yeah,
so I would like you to help me with contest 1 of the second day. Bumper SATS winning by 26 points in a group of 3. What are your thoughts on that particular contest?
Yeah, so for that first contest between Bumper, Diabene, and then the Azim girls, I thought Bumper would have stepped up their game and then win massively over Diabene and then the Azim girls, but it didn't seem so. Maybe probably the preparation wasn't enough to garner them the needed marks that I was expecting. I thought it would have been in the 40s about, but all the same. And basically, to the last year result is comparable to what we have here. I think last year too, they had the same 26 points. Yes, so probably they have to step up their game and work harder if they want to see or get higher marks.
Right, so contest 2, Archbishop Porter girls coming out on top with 38 points. Was it to be expected?
Oh yes, it's to be expected. Archbishop Porter meetings and St. Augustine Anoaje, and then Hafasi, they are surely to win. But the margin is what I was looking at. I thought they would have even garner more points, because looking at last year, they had 46 points, 46 points. So now that they're having 38, I think it's a decline. Yes, that's what I was about. All the same, they've done well.
So you don't think that this particular group, when it comes to Archbishop Potter girls, they are strong as last year's group?
Yeah, I think last year group for the prelims, they had 46 points as compared to this. But anything can happen, so you can't actually predict the group yet, since they also went ahead to perform some magic along the line. So I think they are a good group to do.
All right, so
before we go onto the third contest, to see something about this contest. I mean, I think the margin wasn't as huge as we expected, because St. Augustine's SHS and Anoje improved, because St. Augustine's SHS is not a school that will come up with 29 points easily. In their previous contest, they were making single points and sometimes even 10 or 11 points. But this year, we see them with 29 points, almost 30 points. And then Anoje also with 25 points. So I think they took Archbishop Potter girls by surprise. And then they, based on the experience that they have, managed to get to the 38 points. So I think they were a bit complacent, and then Anoje and St. Augustine's took them by surprise. But then based on experience, they managed to get to the 38 points. So yeah.
All right, so Solom, contest 3, St. Mary's Boys SHS with a whopping 45 points. I mean, this looks like a great score on paper. How was the competition itself like?
Oh yeah, it's a great competition. I see St. Mary's Boys getting 45 points, and then the second Daboasi with 18 points. You can see how well they have performed, and it's a good job done. I congratulate them on that.
Yeah, right. So Abigail, let me come to you. Takoradi SHS 66 points. I mean, I always touch on the fact that you said the Western region they didn't perform so well, but you come here and you see 66 points. I mean, not many schools can make 66 points.
And I did mention that there were some good contests.
Yeah, they were.
I think this is one of them. And this particular contest, we were expecting to see a very tough battle between Sekondi College and Takoradi, because they're rivals in the same city. Sekondi Takoradi is like, when you mention Sekondi, you're mentioning Takoradi, so it's supposed to be the same thing. But we see here Takoradi SHS like completely defeating them with 66 points, and they didn't even see what was happening. Next thing they know, they have 20 points with German with 15 and 10. So it was a complete.
I mean, on a regular day, you would expect Sekondi to be able to, rub shoulders with Takoradi.
Exactly.
Maybe make some 40
yes,
points
definitely,
or whatnot.
But 66 and 20, that's not.
But that's quite unfortunate.
Yes.
But let's come to contest 1 of the third day, BBNE SATS with 31 points. This was a group of 5, and actually looks like it was a bit tough.
It was supposed to be 6 schools actually, but one school, Bodi Senior High School, was not able to make it. And I think BBNE SHTS, they, based on experience, were able to come up with 31 points. Looking at the rest of them with 23 and 17, it was quite tough for them. But also here, experience comes to play, and then BBNE was able to come up with 31 points. Yeah, that's how I remember the contest went.
Right, so Solom, let me come to you. Contest 2, Seshibekwai SHS with 38 points to top that particular contest. What did you make of that particular contest?
Yeah, it's a good comeback for Seshibekwai, because last year they lost to BBNE with 18 points. So being able to garner at least 38 points, that is a good work done on their side. Yeah, and I think they have a competition from Biatu has also proven to be an equal match for them. But I think they came in strong. They came in strong because of the experience they had the previous year, which is the 2020, where they lost to Bibiani.
And mind you, this is the first time they're going to be coming to Accra. So that is a very impressive win for them.
Then congratulations to them.
Yes.
Yeah, so Solom, Ahantaman girls SHS 34 points to win contest 3 ahead of Pristia Honey Valley and Adiambra SHS.
Yes. So all I can say is that yeah, it's my school and I'm their coordinator, and it's a good show for now. But I wasn't so much enthused about it, but we are working hard to see that we garner more points. Because with Pristia, Honey Valley, and Adiambra, I was thinking we would have garnered more points from them than what we have done. Yes, but we are still working, and then we're looking at coming to the championship and then making an impact.
So you believe that Hantaman can make an impact at the championship?
Oh yes, yes, we can. We can, because we are preparing very strongly, and then we know that when we come, we can make an impact in the championship.
All right, thank you, Salom. If you are still with us, this is the NSMQ Review Show. You can follow all our social media platforms at NSMQ Ghana on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. We have been discussing the regional qualifiers, but we will now move on to the regional championship, which is being sponsored by Absa Bank. All right, so Abigail, for the Western Zone, before we come to the Western Zonal Championship, I mean, there's this train of thought that anyone or any school who is able to win the regional championship, when they come to the national championships, they are the school to watch out for from that particular region.
Right.
Do you think that is true?
Yes, for the most part, yes, that is very true. Considering the fact that to be able to get to the final stage of the regional or zonal championship, then you would have defeated a bunch of schools to be able to make it to that point. And so if you're able to do that, you already have some kind of confidence. You've built yourself up, you've built confidence so that you know that when I come to the national championship, I'm already there, I've already made it, so I'm going to be able to defeat whoever comes my way. And so yeah, that is it really. I mean, that's what we've seen over the past few years. For what's going to happen this year, we live to see. Yeah.
Right. So we live to see what will happen this year. Let's look at contest 1. We saw Takwa SHS winning by 32 points, coming in second was St. Mary's Boys SHS with 29 points. Sefi Bekwa was last on the log with 8 points. I mean, they didn't look like they put up much of a challenge, but for the two top schools, it looks like they really went head to head.
Yeah, it was a tough one between Takwa, and again Takwa SHS put their weight here. I think they came in this year to actually prove a point to us, because we haven't seen them like this before. And they went all the way into the finals, and then they also did well there. I mean, for this one, you can see that St. Mary's Boys tried to put up a fight, but Takwa, they came in, they had this mindset that they're coming to win, and it manifested in the end of the contest. So yeah, that was a good one from Takwa.
All right, so still with contest 2, St. John's School with 31 points. Another keenly contested affair there. You can see Takwa the SHS with 30 points, and even third place, Hantaman Girls SHS with 23 points.
Yes, this particular contest, St. John's also came in with their winning mentality. They came in there, they tried to show that yes, we are also coming to win. And also Takwa, another city rivalry here that we are seeing, and then they also tried to put up, I mean, with 66 points, they had to defend themselves, because you won with 66 points and then you are coming here with 30. So they had to show something. But St. John's School, again, winning mentality, they wanted to show that we are here to win, and so nothing is going to stop us. And then based on that, just 1 point difference, I'm sure Takwa the SHS was not happy that day.
So just a 1 point difference there in contest 2. So Salom, you can take contest 3 for me. Archbishop Porter Girls, 21 points to win that particular group, but it was a group that included GSTS, Fiasaman, and Bompe SATS. I mean, all these schools are great competitors.
Yes, I was a little bit shocked about the performance anyway, the general match that they had. But for GSTS having 17 points, I think probably they were thinking they were the host. So they came in with that confidence that they are going to win by all costs. But the girls, that's the Archbishop Porter girls, they took their time, composure, they were composed. That day I was there, I saw how composed they were, and then gradually they were able to win that particular contest over GSTS.
Right.
Fiaseman and Pompey tried, but they couldn't. But it was a close match between the GSTS. It was a close contest anyway. It was a close contest.
Looking at the final contest, we saw Archbishop Potter Girls win by 32 points against St. John's School, and Takwa SHS, who look like the surprise inclusion here in the finals.
Yes, I attribute that to the discipline from the girls. The girls are very disciplined, and when they are on stage, they are composed and ready to win. I think that is what the crown to them, and I congratulate them on that, on winning this the maiden edition of the regional and then zonal championship in Takoradi. Now I think this is the first time we held that championship here in Takoradi, and they are the first to win, and I congratulate them.
All right, thank you, Salom. So, Abigail,
Right.
the final contest, Archbishop Potter Girls, 32 points, St. John's School 30 points, and then Takwa SHS 19 points. And as I said earlier, Takwa SHS, they look like the surprise team or the surprise school in here. What are your thoughts on the final?
This final, it was worth to be called. It was worthy to be called a finals because all the schools in there had like done whatever it says it would take them to be in this stage, and it was nice to see all three schools fighting, giving everything that they had to be in the finals. And when it came down, it was they fought well, and it had to come down to, I think, the last riddle for the winner to be determined. And then when Archbishop Potter Girls picked that riddle and then they lost, and you should have seen the disappointment on their faces because then they thought that was the end, and they knew that St. John's was not going to miss that riddle. But then St. John's also picked that riddle and then they missed it, and you should have seen the girls hugging on the stage, almost about to cry. Like, it was a sight to behold. It was a good one, and like Mr. Selim said, I'm very happy for them. I'm proud of them, and I do hope that they will keep up that performance when they come to Accra for the national championship.
But looking at their performance, and like you said, you hope they do keep up the performance.
Yes.
Looking at what they showed in the regionals, do you think that they have what it takes to actually make a mark when it comes to the national championship?
I mean, from now up until the national championship will take place, there's quite some time in there, and so it would do them some good if they're able to go back to the drawing board. It doesn't matter that they won the regional championship; they have to go back to the drawing board and pick themselves back up, because national championship is not a joke. It's not something that it's not destiny. It's not luck. You are going to have to work for it, and so hopefully, once they go back to the drawing board, they can be able to work themselves and then do something in the national championship.
All right, thank you, Salam, for joining us for today's episode of the NSMQ Review Show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Abigail, for joining us for today's show, and thank you for your insights.
Thank you for having me.
I didn't give you our customary first bump, yes. All too soon, we have come to the end of today's episode of the NSMQ Review Show. On our next episode, we'll be looking at the qualifiers and the championships for the Volta and OT regions. My name is Ato Kwamena Afro Cleland, and do stay tuned with us. Follow all of our social media platforms at NSMQ Ghana on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. That's bye for now.